On the starting lineups for Clarksville, but the starters today for the Sand Lizards will be Alex Campos, Brian Castro, Jesus Garcia, Michael Leon, Jose Jimmy Alcocer, Manuel Martinez, Miguel Diaz, Kevin Abarca, Jeremy Morales, and Irvin Ambrosio. The head coach of the Sand Lizards is Brian Hardaway.
Let's meet our players for this afternoon. Starting first with the Dardanelle Sand Lizards. They are number 1, Alex Campos. Number 3.
You can see the Sand Lizards being introduced right now. They are in the white uniforms today. Clarksville in red with the classic Clarksville C on the front of the uniform.
Number 6, Brian Castro. Number 7, Darnelle. Number 8, Omar Navarrete. And number 9, Jesus Garcia. Number 10, Michael Leon. Number 11, Jose Jimmy Alcocer. Number 12, Justin Morales. Number 13, Manuel Martinez. Number 14, Ernestes Ayala. Number 15, Miguel Diaz. Number 16, Antonio Hernandez. Number 17, Oscar Navarrete. Number 18, Felix Carranza. Number 19, Jordan Roda.
Per state championship tradition, all of the players are being introduced today. And looking at these two teams, both of them looking for history today, looking to bring home a state title for the first time. And it's not very often that we get to have a matchup like this where history such as this is on the line, but one of these two teams is going to be remembered forever in their program history as starting off a championship tradition. Looking at the last few champions in the 4A. You have the Harding Academy Wildcats in 2023. Pulaski Academy won it back-to-back in 2022 and 2021 before making the leap up to 5A. And Harrison won the state title back in 2019. Dating back to 2007. Neither one of these teams has brought home a state championship in soccer. Looking at the Sand Lizards on the year, they went 16-3-3 overall. They went 7-0 in conference play. Real quick, we'll take a look back at how they got here in the tournament. They defeated Hope, Robinson, and DeQueen to earn the right to play for a state title today. It's worth noting that these two teams have met before as recent as May 3rd. That was a 4-3 victory for the Sand Lizards in a conference matchup. Before that, it was a 1-1 tie. So Clarksville looking for a little bit of revenge here today in the state title game. Again, that was a classic matchup there, 4-3 in that last meeting between these two teams. But at this point, you have to throw the regular season matchups out the window. It's a brand new slate. Both of these teams have fought their way to an opportunity for a state title, their first in program history. And to get to do it over a conference opponent, why, that will just make the moment even sweeter. But looking back, since that loss to the Dardanelle Sand Lizards, it's been a tear for the Clarksville Panthers. They had a hard-fought first-round matchup with Nashville, winning 2-1. They defeated Brooklyn 1-0 in the second round. Another great battle, and then finally creating some space against Morrilton in the state semifinals with a 4-0 victory. These teams know each other very well. And you know that they're going to leave it all out on the pitch today, as one of these programs, we've said it before, but it's worth mentioning again, will be bringing home their first title in program history. The excitement already starting to build. You can start to hear the cheers now on the lower bowl. Everybody staying quiet while the starting lineups were introduced, but also just trying to soak in the moment. And what a moment it is. Now Clarksville starting to erupt. You heard a small eruption from Dardanelle a few moments ago. Got a good fan base, especially a student section up at the front. And it already seems like Jesus Garcia is a fan favorite. I see at least 2 makeshift Garcia jerseys down there on the front row for the Sand Lizards. And then on the Clarksville side of things, great turnout as well. We see some fans up here in the upper bowl. But once again, most fans staying in that lower bowl to avoid the mid-afternoon heat. But it looks like we are just about ready for this state championship matchup. Sand Lizards are fired up, and we'll go ahead and try to tell you the starters. Juan de la Rosa is going to be your starting goalkeeper today for Clarksville. Joining him on the pitch is Jesus Santiago. Miguel Aguilar, donning the number 12. So too will be at midfielder today for the Panthers. And we will have more numbers for you to come. Also on the pitch, equalizes, the junior forward. They are joined by number 13, Alex Ruiz, the defender. Nathaniel Harris is in the midfield for the Panthers. And this Sand Lizards crowd, pretty loud, but Clarksville already showing their school spirit early. Got their own percussion section going down there. You see school spirit and represented in multiple different ways here at the Weekend of Champions. Both great fan bases that have long been awaiting a state championship, and one of them will have their wait ended in the next 80 minutes. We are underway. Sir also out there for the Panthers. Again, we're still trying to get those starters to you. In case you weren't here for the pregame, Clarksville in red with the classic C on the front of their uniforms. And then you've got the Sand Lizards wearing the white kits today. Juan de la Rosa gives this one a good ride as it's going to bounce around a little bit here. Both teams trying to establish themselves early in this matchup. Just under a minute gone. Israel de la Rosa also out there on the pitch, and a little bit of a collision in the box, but no ill will there from either young man. Trying to pass it up to the right side of the box. This could be a good opportunity. It's deflected. 2 was looking for a shot on the right side, or maybe looking to cross it. But his team is going to have a great opportunity here with the corner kick. Set to boot it from the corner, it will be Miguel Aguilar, the senior forward, looking to bring home a championship crown to finish off a notable career. Meanwhile, header just able to be collected by the starting goalkeeper. That's Ambrosio, the junior out there. Going to be a long throw in here for the Sand Lizards. And it is going to roll all the way out of bounds. Last touched by Dardanelle. There are a lot of schools in Arkansas. A lot of great mascots, but only one Sand Lizard. That distinction belonging to Dardanelle. One of the most unique names in all of Arkansas high school sports, looking to set themselves apart with a championship crown today. Opportunity. Clarksville on the other end into the right side of the box. Looking to cross it. It's going to be cleared. Last touch by Jeremy Morales. And now a corner kick for the Panthers. Corner kick. Sent away. Clarksville moving the ball around here. Just under 4 minutes gone. And again, this crowd getting loud and getting loud often. Looking to pass it to the left side. It's going to drift past the box all the way up near the corner. But the Panthers do maintain possession. They've had the ball for the majority of these opening minutes. But thus far, things pretty evenly matched up. 0-0 our score, and no one has been shut out today at the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals, although it is worth noting that the first team to score in all three of our first matchups ended up going on to win the state title game. We'll see if that trend proves true again here in game number 4 of our day 1 slate, but we are not done yet. In fact, we are only halfway home once today's match concludes. We start again bright and early tomorrow, 10 a.m. The Catholic Rockets taking on the Conway Wampus Cats in the 6A Boys State Championship. That is followed up by the 4A Girls State Championship between the Harding Academy Wildcats and the Shiloh Christian Saints. The CAC Mustangs taking on the Green Forest Tigers in the 3A Boys Championship at 2 o'clock. And then the Episcopal Wildcats will take on the CAC Mustangs in the 3A Girls Championship. You can catch all those games right here on the NFHS Network. Earlier in the day, I'm joined by Carlos Chicas, our primary play-by-play man, and he is now on his way up to Fayetteville for his son Carlito's graduation. Carlito graduating from Rogers High School at Bud Walton Arena tonight. Felicidades, Carlito. Going to be a corner kick here for the Sand Lizards. Actually, we'll see. There have been a couple that have been close today. This one is indeed a corner kick, but the officials have been ruling it very close. If it's a corner kick, it's a corner kick. Because you have to have it right on the spot. We've had many throw-ins conducted right from that corner. Meanwhile, opportunity here for Clarksville, a little bit of an advantage, but lost his footing. And now the ball is sent back the other way. Tripped up a bit. Now the Sand Lizards trying to mount a counterattack. Tripped up a little bit here, sticking with it. Now passed up the field. That was an excellent job there by Michael Leon, resisting the pressure. Chance here for the Sand Lizards, perhaps. Right side of the box. Couldn't really get a clean look. It's deflected, and now it'll be a throw-in once again for Dardanelle. 31:55 remaining in the first half. Both teams still settling into their game plans. Here's again another look here at the deflection. Credit the deflection to number 2, Edwin Garcia. Playing some nice defense there for Clarksville. Going to be a goal kick now for the Panthers. Trying to get it out of their own third. So far, the momentum swings have been fairly even between these two teams. We knew they matched up well on paper. But, you know, on paper, the looks can be deceiving. Given the old eye test, these two teams, they're looking about as even as it gets here in the first 10 minutes. Meanwhile, tripped up a little bit here, but that is a clean slide tackle. Aggressive defense that time from number 9, Jesus Garcia. Now we'll have a whistle blown. Looks like it is going to be a throw-in for the Panthers. Got everything set up in the right spot. Now we're going to see a little bit of a personnel change. Excellent clear there in traffic. Almost a lead-clinching goal for the Panthers. Clarksville taking it the other way. Trying to establish any space they can get, but the Sand Lizards have been aggressive throughout the early going, giving them little room to breathe. It's going to be a goal kick now for Dardanelle. Couple of substitutions as Omar Navarrete, sophomore, is in. Along with number 14, Ernesto Ayala. And you have to know Ayala is excited to get into this matchup. This is his final match ever as a Sand Lizard. He has the chance to leave quite the notable legacy. Long ball sent deep. Going to be untouched by Clarksville, and hold on. They're going to say it was last touched by the Panthers. It is a corner kick. We'll have to see if we can get another look at that on replay. As the Sand Lizards prepare for a corner kick. Corner kick. Still fighting for control. Who's going to come up with it? Clarksville's just going to clear it. And the Sand Lizards still got a chance here. Lots of traffic. But I believe they're going to call it an offside. Just about 13 minutes gone in this state championship bout. Still scoreless. As these two teams look locked in from the opening whistle. You could probably expect the same until the closing one. We'll see who is first to make a mistake, or better yet, who is to make a great play to put themselves on top. Satu is another player in right now for the Panthers. He had control of the ball just a few moments ago. It's going to be a throw-in for his team. Throwing it in is Miguel Aguilar. Trying to find an open teammate. Instead, he's going to pass it off to his teammate Israel De La Rosa. De La Rosa with the throw-in. Plenty of ball movement, trying to get a good look, and that time going for a shot, but it misses high and to the left. That'll make it a goal kick now for Dardanelle with 2:57 remaining in the first half. It's been a high-energy matchup up to this point, but it's also been very methodical. Both of these teams very strategic in how they've gone about things. It hasn't been about the raw strength or speed. It's been about how can we use what we have to create the best opportunities for ourselves. And then on defense, it's what do we know that we can do to counteract that. So far, the defensive game plan has worked very efficiently for both sides. But you have to think that with the clever play these two teams have put together on offense this year, that somebody is going to strike sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, deflection. That ball was last touched by the goalkeeper. That is Ambrosio, and now golden opportunity for Clarksville to try and create an ideal set piece off of the corner kick. Let's see what they draw up. High arcing ball sent towards the box. And trying to hook it, but it does go high and to the left. That's going to result in a goal kick for Dardanelle. Now he will see a substitution. Antonio Hernandez, the freshman, getting an opportunity here in the state championship game. And you can hear the horn sounding off along with the defense chants. The Clarksville faithful doing everything that they can to provide that extra boost. Just the excitement on both sides has been palpable from the very get-go. Now they got the waves starting down there on the lower bowl. And let me tell you, it is not limited to the Clarksville side. It was spreading all the way over to Dardanelle. We saw the student section getting involved for the Sand Lizards. Two fierce rivals today, but everybody's united by the beautiful game of soccer. And this one's shaping up to be a beautiful game indeed. If you're a fan of defense, you are finally getting the match that you were hoping for. We've had matches today where as many as 12 goals were scored. And by the way, those 12 goals were scored in a 60-minute match, an 11-1 result in Game 2 of our 4-game slate today. But so far, we're nearing the midway point of the first half, and we are still scoreless. Darnelle going to have the throw here. Last touched by De La Rosa for Clarksville. Two very similar play styles between these two teams. Both emphasizing a methodical approach to offense. Excellent passing. Meanwhile, a little bit of a trip up there and very, very close as Miguel Diaz almost tripped up one of the Clarksville, or did trip up the Clarksville Panther. No foul called in the box, though. Ball is going to be cleared away. Hugo Martinez recently checking in for Clarksville, but now Darnelle, crowd starting to get loud as that was almost a great opportunity. And it's not over yet. Tussling for the ball, these two teams. It's going to result in a goal kick here for the Panthers. Juan De La Rosa set to boot it away. Now we're going to have a foul called on the Sand Lizards. That's going to allow Israel De La Rosa to have a little bit of space. Ball's up high in the air, and it is going to bounce out of play. Over halfway home here in the first half of play. It's still scoreless. 19-10 left to go. Now we'll have a foul going the other way. This one called on the Panthers. You can hear the noisemakers, the horns, all of them here for this contest, contributing to what is shaping up to be a special atmosphere for a special game. So we still got even a few fans making their way up into the seats. After all, just about 22 minutes gone in this match. Still plenty left to be played. Could be an opportunity for Clarksville on the left side, looking for the goal, and it's in! Goal! Clarksville Panthers! Just waiting for the golden opportunity to strike. And Nathaniel Harris has the first score of our 4A boys state title game. We'll see if we can get one more look at this history-making score for the Panthers. And there you can see excellent execution, just sliding it into that empty right corner. Didn't have to do anything too fancy, didn't even have to pick it up off the ground. Just had to push it to the right spot. Still, a fine-looking goal there for Nathaniel Harris as he puts his team on top 1-0 with 18 to go here in the first half. Looked like he was looking for another one right here. See if Clarksville can capitalize on the momentum. Panthers had already been excited up to this point. Their fan base was loud and proud, but that's just going to give them even more reason to get excited. An early lead for the Panthers as they try to take down the Sand Lizards for their first ever state championship in soccer. Boots it. Great job there by the goalkeeper, keeping it in front of him. That is Irvin Ambrosio. Now we're going to have a brief substitution. Alex Campos checking back in for Dardanelle, and checking in for Clarksville, it's going to be number 11, equalizes. Darnelle looking for an equalizer. Brian Ramirez with the throw-in. Excuse me, that is Jesus Garcia. Harris already with a goal to his name. Nice slide tackle there, trying to maintain control, but couldn't quite do it. Now we'll have it's tough to tell. Originally I thought I was offsides, but we might have had a foul called. It's going to be free kick for the Panthers. They're going to have a little bit of time to space the field. Not what Dardanelle wants at this point, although they were able to react well. Ball still up in the air. Fighting for position. Now Dardanelle in full possession of the ball, and they got a chance for a little bit of an attack here. Clarksville clears it. Will we see a counterattack on the far right side? Nope, not this time. It's going to be an offside. Forgot to mention the drums down there on the Clarksville side of things. It's Panther faithful. Thought of everything. They are excited to be here, but they are also excited to be leading a state championship match 1-0 with 14 minutes to go in the first half of play. Still anybody's match for the taking. Either one of these two teams could claim their first state championship in soccer by the day's end. Right now it's Clarksville in prime position. 2, passes it off. Harris trying to maintain control. He does that, passes it off towards the middle. Waiting for the teammates to catch up. Going to the right side of the box, looking for the cross. Shot was on line, but good stop there by the goalkeeper, Ambrosio. Junior has had a busy day at the net, and thus far has only allowed 1 goal against a very talented Clarksville offense. Almost a great opportunity there for the Sand Lizards, but Clarksville reacting well. There's the throw in. A little bit of a collision, and that will allow Clarksville to clear it. Ball is up past the midfield line. Goes out of bounds. Now another throw in. This one for Darnelle. Double team. Able to break it a little bit. Ball is cleared once again. It's going to go to the Panthers. Loses the handle on it. Now we're going to have a substitution. Brian Ramirez, the sophomore midfielder, entering the contest. Ball sent up the middle. Drifting to the right. Could be an opportunity for the Sand Lizards on the edge of the right box. Some aggressive defense, and it's going to be a corner. No, it's a goal kick. Looked like it might have been last touched by the Panthers, but able to get the deflection. Heads up play. Now we will see another substitution. 2 is into the match. Going to be a handball called just past midfield. Ball still up in the air. Harris saw the opportunity. Can he save it? Yes, he can. 2, passes it off. Clarksville working it around the perimeter of the box. Long shot. Veers off to the left. Ambrosio, although he has allowed the 1 goal, it's worth noting how well he has performed here today. Clarksville has had possession for a good chunk of this contest. There have been plenty of opportunities, but thus far only 1 goal to show for it. Ball is going to go out of bounds. Last touch by the Sand Lizards. Now a chance on the throw-in for the Panthers. 9:30 to go in the first half. 1-0 your score. Ball's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Panthers. Now the Sand Lizards with an opportunity. Fighting for control of the ball. It's back and forth between the two teams. Who touched it last? It was Clarksville. Sand Lizards with a chance here on the set piece. Desperately needing an equalizer. although there is still some time left here in the first half. And of course, a full 40 minutes beyond that. You don't want to pass by these chances. Line drive, ball still on the ground. It's up high in the air, still in the field of play. Header, reverse header, goes off the bar, and that was out of bounds. Another sand lizard was right there to try and head that one in. Very close call there for the Panthers, as it wasn't a bad setup. We'll see if Dardanelle can get another opportunity like that here in the next few moments. In the meantime, Clarksville going to boot it away on a long ball from De La Rosa. Seven and a half minutes to go. And it is going to elude the Panthers. It's going to be a goal kick now. Manuel Martinez back in for Dardanelle. Sand Lizards looking for some fresh legs as they look to get back in it here in the first half. Still just a 1-goal advantage for Clarksville. That 1 goal coming off of a score from Nathaniel Harris, the sophomore. Long roller sent all the way into the defensive third of Clarksville. Almost a great play there by the Sand Lizards. Instead, it'll be headed the other way. Tussle for the ball. Excellent slide tackle there. But Clarksville's going to take it away anyways. That's on a little bit of a tightrope walking act from Miguel Aguilar as he did his best to keep it inside the lines. Unfortunately, can't quite do so. So it will be a throw in. The Sand Lizards working quickly here. 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Still a 1-0 advantage, and Clarksville is going to get the foul call here. Plenty of physicality here, but you see the pat on the back. Even though these two teams are regional rivals, they faced each other twice already this year. There's a mutual respect between these two programs. They know it's at stake here. They know that they're both making history in this contest, and I would argue to say there are even some friends on both sides of this. Carlos and I talked about this earlier in the day. You have to put aside those friendships for a little bit as you fight for bragging rights and for a state title for your school, but at the same time, the sportsmanship does not go away. That's something that you got to admire about both of these programs. It is clear from just the first half that these are two very well coached teams. These coaches have equipped their players to be quick thinkers and very strategic about how they approach the game. At the same time, two teams that are also very well conditioned. Even though this has been fast and physical game at times, both teams done an excellent job of balancing out their energy. And And if either of these teams has taken it slow, it hasn't been a matter of physical limitation. It's been a matter of how does this play into our strategy. Three and a half minutes to go. Clarksville leading 1-0 here in the first half of this 4A state championship match. Great opportunity here for the Sand Lizards, attacking on the left side. Pushed down a bit at the edge of the box. Will they say he was in the box? No. Just about as close as you can get. Less than a yard away. But it is going to be a free kick, not a penalty kick, for the Sand Lizards. We'll see how they approach this. There it is, looking to hook it to the top right corner, and it's just a bit too strong. Trying to use one of the Sand Lizards as a decoy down low. Didn't quite work out that time. And there you can see the foul that resulted in the free kick just moments ago. Put a pretty good spin on it, just a bit too strong. And although it was right there on line to hit the top of that goal, or excuse me, of the top right corner of the goal, had too much height on it, ended up carrying all the way over. Another chance here for the Sand Lizards. Going to the opposite side of the box, going for the cross. And that one just misses high. Ends up hitting off the crossbar of the football goalpost. One minute, 18 seconds to go here in the first half. Clarksville trying to hang on to that lead going into the break. Dardanelle, will see if they can make one last push. Although it looks like right now, with this throw-in, momentum going Clarksville's way, we'll see if the Panthers are aggressive, try to add on to their lead, or if they just try to run this clock out. Going the other way now. De La Rosa just able to clear it. Darnelle still on the attack. That might be the last of the attack, though, as it bounces out of bounds, last touched by the Sand Lizards. And now the Clarksville Panthers set to throw it in. We do have time called on the field, though, as there is an injured Panther. Tough to tell from this vantage point who it is. But the trainers are going to look him over. Once again, fans, we want to thank you for tuning in to the 2024 Centennial Bank State Soccer Finals here on NFHS. And looks like the injured Panther is up and walking on his own power. That is good to see. Holding his head, though. And you always got to be careful with those head injuries. We'll see how they treat him moving forward. Always want to be careful when it comes to concussions and similar injuries. Sand Lizards running out of time here in the first half, but they may have a chance to make something happen. That's going to go away quickly here. Ball is deflected away. 5 seconds remaining. They're going to try and give it one last boot. That's exactly what the Sand Lizards will do. Ball's a bit short, and that is going to do it for the first half of play. 40 minutes in the books. And Clarksville halfway home to its first state title in program history. Don't go anywhere, though, because it is still anyone's match. And at the conclusion of today's contest, we will crown a first-time state champion here at the Weekend of Champions in Conway. We're going to take a short break, but this is the 2024 Centennial Bank State Soccer Finals on NFHS Network. But fans, this has been such a treat to witness this matchup today. And once again, there is another fan down there at the front who has actually walked up to the very front and shown off everybody's signs that they have in the crowd towards the top. It's been very beneficial for us up in the booth because we've gotten to see some of the creativity that friends and family have. The horn has sounded. That means it is time for our second half of action. We will start on the official's whistle. And on cue, the horns and the noisemakers back up for Clarksville. The Panthers know that they are on the cusp of history. But so does Dardanelle, and although the crowd is a little bit quieter right now, this team is locked in at the moment, just waiting to give their fans something to cheer for. There's our whistle, and we are back underway at Estes Stadium. Clarksville looking to avenge a loss the last time these two teams met. Of the 4 conference matches that we have on record for the Panthers, they've won 2 of them, won 1 of them, and tied 1 of them. That one loss was to Dardanelle, and that one tie was also against Dardanelle. Clarksville certainly looks like it could be on the cusp of revenge right now. That could erase any memory of that loss in the regular season finale against Dardanelle. At the same time, they could write their names into the history books. Looks like some younger players are getting an opportunity right now. Some fresh legs for the Panthers coming out of the break. But meanwhile, Dardanelle looks like it's got some pretty fresh legs going too. That one runs a bit high. A little bit of a dangerous attack there. Sand Lizards know that they are still within striking distance. For the first time, really in a while, things fall into a hush here at Estes Stadium here in Conway. The UCA campus has been a fantastic host for the Weekend of Champions these past couple of weekends, or past couple of years, I should say. This year being no different, and we want to thank the university for allowing us here, along with the entire AAA staff who has made this event possible for these young men and women. Could we see a chance here for Clarksville, looking for some insurance, slowing things down, looking for the cross, top of the box, looking for the shot, it's deflected. Player got tripped up a little bit there and holding his leg. He's going to be okay, but again, when your leg snaps back like that, you always get a little bit nervous. Long ball towards the box as we return from that replay. Now a golden opportunity for Dardanelle, and the shot runs high. Sand Lizard slams his hands down in frustration. He knew that that was a golden opportunity to knot this game up. Instead, it remains a 1-0 lead for Clarksville, and now the Panthers will have the goal kick. Very close call there on a good run. Just over 5 minutes gone here in this 4A state championship matchup as foul will be called. It's going back to Dardanelle. The Sand Lizards, like the Panthers, wanting to claim their first state championship ever in soccer. We will have a first-time state champion crowned here today in Conway. Really a perfect cap to what has been an excellent day of soccer. If you're a fan of defense, we've had some fun defensive battles. You're a fan of offense. Just look back to game 2 where we had 11 goals today alone scored by the Russellville Cyclones. Add on another from Van Buren to make it 12 total for the match. We've seen titles successfully defended through the likes of Bentonville girls soccer as well as Russellville boys soccer, and we've also had a champion crowned for the 3rd time in 4 years in the form of PA in our last matchup. Looking for the slide tackle there. Gets away a bit. De La Rosa is just going to allow it to roll as long as it can. His team is not in a rush. Now he's going to pick it up. Given a little bit of pressure by Jesus Garcia. Well, now we've got 3 Jesus Garcia jerseys down on the front row. On the Dardanelle side, clearly a fan favorite among his peers. Ball cleared away by Clarksville. We'll have a substitution. Checking back in for the Sand Lizards, it will be number 14, Ernesto Ayala. The senior getting some more playing time and his last time suiting up for his alma mater. Tripped up a little bit there. Be charged to Alex Ruiz. Meanwhile, very close call there as the Sand Lizards just about had the equalizer they had been looking for so long. Can't quite get it that time, but it seems like they're getting closer and closer. We'll see if we can take another look at that one. Great setup. By Dardanelle. You can see, you never know what can happen off of the bounce. That was at the very end. Exactly 30 minutes remain in this state championship matchup. Your score is Clarksville 1, Dardanelle nothing. Chance now maybe for Clarksville. Can they tightrope walk? Last touch by Dardanelle, so it will be a throw-in for the Panthers. This is a great opportunity. Knocking on the door of the box. Some aggressive defense from Dardanelle. Now on the opposite side, trying to drive, looking for any opening. Opportunity perhaps in the box, it's deflected. Not out of the woods just yet though. Clarksville able to regroup. Deflected yet again. Goalkeeper is going to allow it to roll all the way to the back line. That should be a goal kick for the Sand Lizards. Indeed it is. Ambrosio getting a well-deserved break here in half number 2 after he had plenty of save opportunities come his way in the first half. He saved all but one of them. And really, you can credit that more so to the execution of Nathaniel Harris than any defensive shortcoming. That was just an amazing play by the sophomore. Opportunity here perhaps, looking to cross it. Again, Clarksville finding a way to make the plays. Meanwhile, got a little too physical there as Alcocer is going to, or excuse me, that is 2 who draws the foul for Clarksville. Set to boot it away here on the free kick is Israel De La Rosa. He goes short. Trying to set up some open space, and not a bad look there, just carry it a bit too strong. Both teams have been looking for that opening. And both teams have struggled a bit in airmailing them. The only goal that we've had here today has actually been scored on the ground. Wind has picked up just slightly here in the last game as Dardanelle goes on the attack towards the right side of the box. It's a little physical there, but no harm, no foul. It'll be a throw-in for Garcia. We'll see if he aims for the box or if he tries to go elsewhere. His eyes are firmly locked on the box. Throw-in, deflected. Two Sand Lizards nearing the ball. Tough collision there as Omar Navarrete hits the turf. And it is going to be Panther possession. Nathaniel Harris has checked into the match. Darnelle looking to attack, and now we have a foul called on the Panthers. 24 minutes to go. 24:09 to be exact. Still a 1-0 contest. The lone scorer in this match has been the goal by Nathaniel Harris around this point in the first half. That is the only scoring to speak of. Not a bad opportunity there for the Sand Lizards, but it was veering too far off to the right. Couldn't time up the header right, so it will go back to Clarksville. Here they go the other way. Ball still up for grabs. Darnelle is going to hook this one high and wide to the left. And that does not look good. As he was falling back, the goalkeeper for the Panthers, that is Juan de la Rosa, the senior. Looks like he cramped up in that leg a little bit. He's going to stay in. Not even going to be checked out here. But you have to wonder if that's going to affect his mobility moving forward. He is favoring that leg even as he's going into his warm-up for the long ball. Clarksville trying to go a little bit of a counterattack here. They also know that goals are at a premium in this match. And you have to feel that if Clarksville goes up by 2, it's going to be very tough for the Sand Lizards to come back into this one. Not meaning it's impossible, but with the flow of the game, it feels like 2 goals would certainly be enough to win this thing. Scooped up on the run by Ambrosio. He's going to boot it away all the way past the midfield line. .20:55 left. 1-0 is your score. Clarksville the leader, but Dardanelle right there in striking distance. Can Clarksville add another? Harris is going to opt to bring it out a little bit, let everybody regain their footing. Top of the box, looking for a shot, and it's just offline to the left. Great shot offered up from the top of the box. Diving effort by Ambrosio. It was a smart play, too, able to duck out of the way so that didn't result in a corner kick. Again, his team is trailing, but you can't say enough good things about Irvin Ambrosio here today. He's made a lot of great moves for his team. Clarksville taking it. Looked like they were about to take it into the defensive third, but they'll go ahead and opt to regroup. Harris has it taken away. Got some space in the middle third here. We'll see what the Sand Lizards draw up. Opting to go well to the left, very wide left. And now still fighting for control. It's going to be a foul called on the Sand Lizards. That means that the Panthers will have it here in a free kick. Located on the 44-yard line of the field here at Estes Stadium. Although primarily known for football, here at the Weekend of Champions, it's established itself as a very unique soccer venue. Opportunity, and it's blocked by Ambrosio. He does it yet again. That was a good look for Brandon Acosta. Now taking it the other way, counterattack. Garcia passes it off. Can the Sand Lizards get the opportunity they've been looking for so long? 18 minutes to go. It's taken away, and will we have a foul called here? Yes, we will. Harris going to be charged with a foul. Large free kick coming up here. It's deflected. Last touch by the goalkeeper, and he finds a way to corral it. Great play there by Juan de la Rosa. Again, the MVP still up in the air. But you have to think that Juan de la Rosa might just have himself a case if he can keep this shutout alive. Garcia crossing it, and it hits the back bar on the right side. Looking for some fresh legs here. Checking in for Dardanelle. It's going to be number 1, Alex Campos, and Jose Chami Alcocer. Chami Alcocer currently standing at about the 22-yard line as he watches the goal kick sail over his head all the way near the defensive third of Dardanelle. This has been a battle of two goalkeepers who have been playing at just about their absolute best. De La Rosa in his final game with the Panthers, but Dardanelle can look forward to having Ambrosio back next year. Even if the Sand Lizards fall short here today, you have to think that this is not going to be the last time you see them on a grand stage like this. Plenty of talent. There are a few seniors on the roster. But overall, a lot of these guys coming back got a great chance to make another run at a state title next year, but they want to make a run right now with the team they've got. Clarksville going to opt to reset, sending it all the way to the goal. Long ball on the ground. Stepping in to deflect it away. Last touch by number 21, Jeremy Morales. Under 15 minutes to go here in Game 4 of our 4-game slate today. But don't forget, fans, you can catch more of the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. right here on the NFHS Network. We start out bright and early with the 6A Boys State Championship between the Catholic High Rockets and the hometown Conway Wampus Cats. Going to be a Central Arkansas clash for the ages. Speaking of Central Arkansas, you can see their boys and girls compete for state championships tomorrow. CAC boys competing at 2 against Green Forest. And CAC girls competing at 4 against Episcopal. The other game on our slate, a showdown between Harding Academy and Shiloh Christian. And the 4A girls state title game, that one kicks off at 12 o'clock noon. Passing it off to the left side, taken away. That's Morales. Morales passes it off. Could be an opportunity here for the Sand Lizards. Paralleling the right box. Garcia dumps it off, top of the box. Chance on the left side. Will he take a shot? Nope, gonna opt to regroup, look for a better spot, but it's offside. Just when it seems like Dardanelle is going to have the opportunity to get that equalizer. Something like that occurs, but also Clarksville has stepped up and denied them that opportunity several times today. Juan de la Rosa boots it away all the way down near the 40. That is no small feat, folks. That's about a 70-yard kick on the fly. One-on-one opportunity for the Sand Lizards. Best opportunity they've had all day, and they capitalize. Goal! Dardanelle Sand Lizards. Jose Jimmy Alcocer, the junior, steps up. And just like that, we have a brand new match at 1-1. Giving you one last look. Excellent shot, finds the back left corner. The Sand Lizards turned away time and time again, but this team is relentless. With 12:30 remaining in the match, they are finally rewarded for their efforts, making this a 1-1 match. going into the final few moments of this 4A state title game. Folks, this is one to write home about. A little bit of a collision there. Dardanelle takes it away. Sand Lizards, like the Panthers, on the cusp of their first state title ever, but now it's anybody's for the taking. Clarksville had the lead after about the first 15 minutes of the match. And they have held on to it ever since, but with 12:30 exactly remaining in this battle of conference rivals, found a way to even things up. Another chance here perhaps for Dardanelle. They have certainly been the aggressors in this half. Ball is going to run out of bounds. Scooping it up off of the roll, that is Jose Chimi Alcocer, who has the one and only score of the day so far for the Sand Lizards, and it's one that he will never forget. And just like that, he turns to coaching his teammates, trying to give them some encouragement and maybe even some instructions here as we are on the cusp of the final 10 minutes of this match. Quick throw in. Again, the Sand Lizards faithful getting loud here at Estes Stadium. Pulls it away, top of the box, looking for a shot. It's deflected. But that should have been last touched. Now we have the indication that it is indeed the Sand Lizards' ball. And De La Rosa trying to act as if that one had not been, or excuse me, that one was last touched by the Sand Lizards, but correct call is made. Ball sent towards the net, plenty of traffic, still bouncing around, and just for a second it looked like we might have had our tie broken. Instead, the Sand Lizards going to have to try again, and they might get that opportunity sooner rather than later. Morales stumps it off. Pass towards the middle. Still plenty of battles going on for the ball. Looks like player is cramping up for Clarksville, and now we will finally hear the whistle blown. There were players hitting the deck all over. But now we will have the trainers go out and have a look. Well, in a day that has had just a little bit of everything, why not bring one down to the wire? Looks like that is Saw 2, who went down. He is going to check out here. Taking over for 2, it'll be Shige Ku. Ku, a middle fielder and a sophomore for the Panthers. Looks like some of the noisemakers have made their way over to the Darnelle side. Saw a noisemaker over there in the student section, very much like the ones being sported by the Clarksville faithful today. And even though their team gave up the lead just a few minutes ago, you wouldn't be able to tell it from this crowd's energy. They have been loud from the very first whistle. And even if they fall a little bit short today, you know that this fan base is going to be right there to support them. But with that being said, this match is far from over. It is anybody's for the taking. Sand Lizards looking for the header. Can't quite get it this time. Going on the backside. Still up in the air. And De La Rosa able to scoop it up. The senior stepping up with a huge play in his final high school game. Another opportunity here. Had to exit the box, collision, and that is going to be a foul called on Darnelle. So it'll be a free kick from the edge of the box. They're going to go back to De La Rosa as you're going to get another look here at that tough collision. And I think that's why you heard the disapproval of the call. It was incidental contact, but incidental contact or not, foul was committed. Alcocer almost had a chance to go around the edge and look for the go-ahead goal. Nice slide tackle there. Looks like it's Brian Castro who stepped up with that play for the Sand Lizards. So now we see Nathaniel Harris enter the contest once again. Joining him on his way back in is going to be Miguel Diaz. Just over 5.5 minutes to go in your afternoon cap for day one of the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals on NFHS Network. A little bit of a trip up here. It's going to be a foul called on the Panthers. He's going to boot it deep towards the defensive third of Clarksville. Now a chance on the left side. A lot of space to work with. Looks like some words might have been exchanged there in between a Panther and a Sand Lizard. Only in Arkansas sports can you say a sentence like that. Sand Lizard and a Panther casually having a conversation. And a Bears den in Conway. Well, if today has been any indication of what is to come tomorrow, we are in for a real treat here in the conclusion of the Weekend of Champions. Already some soccer being seen here today. Thank you for watching us all day long, and we also want to thank you if you've tuned into any of the other AAA broadcasts on the airwaves this weekend. Softball and baseball also taking place today. Plenty of exciting state championship games to go around in this part of the state. Not to mention that in other parts of the state, NCAA tournament play is going on, namely up in Fayetteville. There are other schools at lower levels of baseball that are also playing in national tournaments right now. Three minutes to go. Clarksville trying to take it the other way. Crosses it to the middle. Great opportunity here. Panthers trying to cut to the outside, tripped up inside the box. Will we have a foul call? No, we will not. Very dangerous to go for that tackle on Harris, as had he been called for a foul, would have resulted in a PK. Very good chance that the Panthers would take the lead. Instead, they're going to have to earn it off of the corner kick. Take one last look here. You can see Harris darting around the edge, and it's a clean tackle. He was going after the ball. Very risky tackle, though, because if he mistime it, he put the Panthers in a prime position to take the lead. Just pushed away here by Ambrosio. And with under 2 minutes to go, we'll see if the Sand Lizards mount a counterattack. Some physical play, slam to the pitch, and it is going to be a foul called on Darnelle. That call is not going to make many friends with the Sand Lizards. But regardless, it is a foul. Chance for Clarksville here. Exactly 1.5 minutes to go in regulation. Will 80 minutes be enough to determine our champion? Clarksville certainly wants to think so. Can't quite corral it. Now a chance for the Sand Lizards. Gotta hustle here. 70 seconds remain in regulation. 1-1 match. Long ball, just had to bat it away. Heads up play by Ambrosio. And again, the goalkeepers showing out today for their teams with a state championship trophy on the line. Regardless of who you're rooting for, you've had to tip your cap to both goalkeepers today. They have put on a show. Meanwhile, whistle blown, 39 seconds to go. And looks like player might be injured. Looks like Antonio Hernandez might have gotten busted up a bit. Might have a little bit of, it looks like he might have a little bit of blood on his jersey too. .35 seconds to go. Is regulation going to be enough to crown our champion? Chance for Clarksville. This might be their last one. Who was it last touched by? Last touched by Clarksville. The Sand Lizards have a chance to boot it deep one last time. 10 seconds remain. No hurry here. And it looks like 80 minutes just weren't enough to crown a champion. That marks the end of regulation, but don't go anywhere. We still got to crown a champion. More championship soccer coming your way here in just a few moments on the NFHS Network. Welcome back to the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals, live from Conway on the NFHS Network. Well, 80 minutes just weren't enough to determine a winner here in the 4A State Championship game, our nightcap for day one of the soccer portion of the Weekend of Champions in Conway. So now we head to overtime. Here's how it works in the postseason. We will have an overtime period of 10 minutes. It's golden goal. Whoever scores first wins the whole thing. If we don't have a goal by the end of the period, we'll take another short break, go to a second overtime. Same rules apply. If after that period we do not have a winner, we go to penalty kicks. And you have to think that both of these teams are going to do everything in their power to end this match as soon as they can, but at the same time, you've got the opposite force working against you on the other side. Neither one of these teams wants to give an inch in this rivalry matchup. If you'll remember, the first time that these two teams met this season, it was a 1-1 tie. And then Dardanelle got the upper hand the second time these teams met. Final score in that one was 4-3, but much like the first time, after 80 minutes, we got a 1-1 tie. And it all comes down to this. Clarksville will have it to open. Harris on the whistle sends things into motion. And we are underway in the overtime period here at Estes Stadium. Sand Lizards mounting a counterattack here. They trailed for most of the match before tying it. Meanwhile, looks like we've got an injured Sand Lizard, and that is one of the last guys that Dardanelle wanted to see go down at this juncture. That is Jose Chimi Alcocer. Alcocer suffering from a little bit of a cramp, it looks like, trying to get off the pitch. Now we finally have a whistle long enough to get a substitution. You can tell that he is clearly hurting, did everything in his power to get off of the field. Took an extra effort, but he is able to get off. There you can see him calling for timeout right there. .50 remaining in the first overtime period. 1-1 your score. Clarksville hasn't scored since the first half. Some aggressive defense there, but all clean according to the official. Ball is going to go out of bounds, last touched by the Panthers. Now a chance for Dardanelle. The Sand Lizards wanting to capture their first state crown ever. Same for Clarksville. It's been a special year in 4A. Both of these teams had to take down some regular contenders for the 4A crown to get to this point. They did so successfully. They've earned the right to be here, and they have put on an instant classic in Conway. We've seen a lot of things today, but no match has been of this atmosphere and also this level of just overall excitement in terms of play. These two teams are as close as it gets on paper, and again, you hear that cliche over and over again. It's not a cliche, or excuse me, in this case, a cliche is a cliche because it's true, and that has been the case here today. These two teams have met each other note for note. In a fierce battle between conference rivals, Clarksville wants to put it away right here. Trying to go around the edge. Can't get the cross, just able to clear it. Long ball sent to the edge of the box, quickly scooped up. Remember, folks, this is golden goal. If one team can find the back of the net before this overtime period is over, they will be crowned the 4A state champion of Arkansas boys soccer. Already almost 4 minutes gone here in the overtime period. Long ball right into the hands of Ambrosio. And even though we are nearing 85 minutes of game time, those noisemakers on the Clarksville side, as loud as they've ever been. This fan base has been waiting for this game for a long time. And they are soaking in every moment of it. They'd love to finish off the day hoisting that trophy, and Dardanelle wanting the exact same thing. Boots this one deep. Harris trying to peel his way around the defender. Chance on the left side of the box. Going in close, looking to find the back corner. It's still alive. Last touched by the Panthers. Bit of a collision here. Harris trying to sneak his way around. Last touched by Darnelle. Clarksville, so close they can taste it right now. But they've got to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. Moving around the perimeter. Pass was a bit too strong. Fortunately, got some teammates there to back him up, but not before a foul's called. It's headed back Dardanelle's way with just over 4 minutes to go in the overtime period. Clarksville fan base screaming in anticipation every time the ball goes up in the air. Even though this has been a low-scoring affair, both of these teams know the quick strike ability that the other has. Both of these two teams have provided scores in what seemed like unlikely moments. Even though they presented themselves as perfect opportunities. Now we're going to have whistle blown. Dardanelle has it off of the foul. Slow roller all the way up to the back line. It's going to roll over, last touched by the Sand Lizards. And now, with 2:35 remaining, we will have a goal kick from De La Rosa. Clarksville, opportunity, right side of the box, waiting for the teammates to catch up. Tough shove there. Garcia was leading, but now Clarksville has control once again. Tough collision there for the ball. Panthers slow to get up. Now 1:06 remaining in the overtime period. Pass towards the middle of the field. Going to be cleared away. Clarksville running out of chances here in the overtime period, but they might just have one right here. 35 seconds to go. Taken away by the Sand Lizards, and we'll see if Dardanelle settles to go to double OT to try and determine a winner. Looks like that just might be the case. It's going to be a long way to go for Clarksville. Just going for the routine throw-in. Ball is up in the air, 10 seconds to go. Now just 5 seconds remaining. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like 90 minutes wasn't enough to determine our winner. In the first half, it was Clarksville drawing first blood, going up 1-0. In the second half, it was evened up by Darnelle to make this 1-1. But here in overtime, still no separation between these two teams. We're headed to double overtime at the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals when we come back here on the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Conway, Arkansas for more of the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals here on the NFHS Network. It is Dardanelle and Clarksville, conference rivals, regional rivals. Some of these players' friends, facing off against one another for the right to call themselves state champions for the first time. Either one of these two teams, when the whistle sounds, that final whistle sounds, they could claim their first ever state title. It's been a long time coming for both of these communities, they've had to wait even longer given how long this match has gone on. We're now entering double overtime with a 1-1 score. Just to give you the breakdown, the first score, credit it to Harris, Nathaniel Harris for Clarksville. And then at the end of regulation, Jose Chimi Alcocer able to find a way to tie things up at 1. Since then, we have been all even. Something's going to have to give here. If it doesn't happen in this overtime period, we are heading to free kicks. And then, most definitely, we are going to crown ourselves a champion. But it's worth just taking a moment here to soak in the fact that we are witnessing an instant classic in the making. This is a state final that will be talked about for years to come after this one, especially in one of these communities. You fight so hard, it feels like neither team deserves to lose, but we can only have one winner. We'll see if we can crown that one before the overtime period ends, or if it comes down to that free kick shootout. Chance here. Darnelle Garcia. Pushed out of the way a little bit. Last touched by the Panthers. It'll be a throw-in now for the Sand Lizards. Jesus Garcia with the long throw-in. Dardanelle looking for the go-ahead goal. It's up in the air. Ball last touched by they're going to say it was Darnelle. De La Rosa boots it deep. Eight minutes to go in double overtime, our last timed period of the 4A Boys State Championship regardless. It is a golden goal. Next goal wins it. However, if we cannot crown a winner by the time the remaining 7 minutes and 40 seconds expire, we will have no choice but to go to free kicks. And honestly, given the nature of this rivalry, almost a fitting conclusion to the way this season has gone. Both of these teams have been neck and neck all the way. And they haven't just been neck and neck at the middle of the pack. They've been neck and neck at the top of the state. This is a story and a rivalry that, again, is going to be talked about for generations. And it all culminates here at the Weekend of Champions in Conway, Arkansas. Ball is going to bounce out of bounds. Just under 6.5 minutes to go. Still, nothing has changed on the scoreboard. Carlos Chicas, if you're watching this, again, want to say felicidades to Carlito, who is graduating tonight in Fayetteville, part of Rogers High School. That group will be graduating at Bud Walton Arena. And my friend, you are missing an instant classic in the making right here, but If you are watching, we are so glad that you are here for this. Because this is a match that nobody wants to miss right now. One of the best that we've had in the history of the Weekend of Champions. As far as I know, and at least in the time that I've been here with the Weekend of Champions, this is the first match that we've had that has gone to overtime. It's also potentially going to be the first decided by penalty kicks. Clarksville, free kick. Halfway home in double overtime. Ball bounces around. Ambrosio able to secure it, and what a day it has been for that young man. He gave up 1 goal in the first half, but in another full half since, and 1.5 overtime periods, could soon be 2. He has held his opponent off the scoreboard. There's truly not enough good things you can say about either one of these goalkeepers, and it's unfortunate that's going to have to come down to a shootout where one of them is defeated. But also the fact that it has gotten to a shootout is a testament to the talent of both of these young men. These offenses, they have not been misfiring by any means. They've been executing their game plan, for the most part, as planned. There may have been a misfire here and there, but overall, this has been a very controlled match, perhaps the most controlled that we've seen all day today. These are two extremely well-coached teams who have both, at least both feel like they deserve the right to be called state champions, but again, you can only have that one winner. That's the next 3.5 minutes, and then the looming PKs. It's going to separate you from a state runner-up and a state champion. Regardless, by getting here, you have established yourself as one of the best soccer programs that Arkansas has to offer, and it's always great to see new programs making their way here. Bit of a collision. Ambrosio able to secure it. Now we have a time stoppage. And they want to check on Ambrosio, make sure that he wasn't got open. Players going to go ahead and embrace right here. Again, just goes to show you the mutual respect between these two programs. I know I've said that over and over, but these are two teams that even though they have an intense rivalry going, they have immense respect for each other. You saw that tough collision there. But those two young men not hesitating to make up after a bang-bang play there. Under 3 minutes to go. Clarksville was looking for an opportunity, but now they'll have to regroup after the clear. 2:40. Darnelle moving it around now, up past the midfield line. That one last touched by the Panthers, so it stays with the Sand Lizards. The clock continuing to wind down. Now we'll see a substitution as Kevin Abarca, one of the starters for the Sand Lizards, back in. Very few opportunities left on the pitch for these teams to jump out ahead. That last one, last touch by Dardanelle, so now a chance for Clarksville. They're going to have to mount an attack very quickly. 90 seconds remaining in the double overtime period. After this, we're going to free kicks. And from there, we will certainly crown a champion, but the same time, Clarksville, you draw up the right scheme right here, you've got a chance to take it home without any free kicks need being taken. Collision, last touched by, originally they said it was Clarksville, but it's corrected, Dardanelle. Now a chance for Clarksville, able to scoot past, slipped up a little bit, still at the top of the box. Is there enough time for a counterattack? Doesn't look like it, and Clarksville has it control anyways. Now we're going to have a foul called on Darnelle. 35 seconds to go. The Panthers are going to have to hoof it here. Take another look here at the foul as the ball is back in play. 10 seconds to go. Got chance for one or two more shots. Ambrosio able to secure it. He's just going to boot this ball away. And ladies and gentlemen, 100 minutes have come and gone. It's still not enough to determine our winner. So with that, we are heading to a penalty kick shootout. And the winner will be crowned the 4A state champion of Arkansas. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with the exciting conclusion of this match after this timeout.
After watching both of these teams in the 4A tournament, I'm kind of not surprised, unfortunately. Yeah, both of these teams really dominated their opponents. Like strawberries or something. Almost like a strawberry shortcake or something. Did he say the cows are gone? Because they look like they're back. About that time. It's 15.
Welcome back to the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals, live from Conway, Arkansas, here on the NFHS Network.
I said, I don't think he wants me to come back tomorrow.
In a way, it's fitting that it all comes down to this. These are two teams that have been neck and neck throughout the season. The first time they met in a conference matchup, it was a 1-1 tie. The second time they met, it was a 4-3 victory for the Dardanelle Sand Lizards. But in their third and final meeting of the year, this one with a state championship on the line, it all comes down to penalty kicks. We played 80 minutes of regulation play. We played 20 minutes of overtime play. Neither one was enough to determine a winner. So instead, it comes down to 5 shots for each team. Now again, Reminder of how this works. It's a best-of-5 setup. Each team gets 5 shots. As soon as it is out of reach, the other team cannot catch up to the other. You have yourself a winner. If you're tied after 5 shots, it goes to sudden death. This is where, if you're a goalkeeper, you've got to be locked in every step of the way. Lots of pressure, not only on the goalkeeper, but the man doing the kicking. Can't let the pressure get to you in the moment, because at the end of the day, both of their teams have their backs against the walls right now. It's just a matter of who is going to emerge victorious in an amazing showdown between conference rivals of mutual respect. I mean, you can see it from the embrace that these guys are sharing right now. These are two communities who love this game, the beautiful game of soccer, who have desperately been waiting for a chance to play for a state championship. That opportunity has arisen today, and here in just a few moments, one of them will be crowned a state champion for the very first time in their program's history. It quite literally does not get any better than this in the weekend of champions. This is the kind of situation where if you turn it in as a script for Hollywood, they would say it's too cliche, but it's not. This is real life, and this matchup is very real to these two teams right now. You see them embracing on the sides. They know that they are on the edge of glory, but they also know that they are inches away from tasting the bitterness of defeat. There's been embraces, prayers on the sideline, in the stands. Everyone has had a chance to catch their breath, although I guarantee you, none of it was a sigh of relief. The tension is palpable even from the top of the stadium here at the University of Central Arkansas. And now we will see the first shot. Set to kick it will be Michael Leon. And again, your goalkeeper for Clarksville is going to be Juan de la Rosa, the senior in his final game with the Panthers, trying to lift them to a state title. First shot from Leon is there, and it's in. Sneaks it over De La Rosa in the top left corner. And Dardanelle, Clarksville, it's your move. Darnelle. Has its first. Clarksville looking to answer. And the man that they'll send up here for their first kick, Israel De La Rosa. Ambrosio defending, and we're all even at 1. Both men with ice water in their veins on those first shots. Both sides embracing as they know every single shot counts in this scenario. This is what the beautiful game is all about right here. Another PK, another make for the Sand Lizards, and they inch closer. Jesus Garcia, second shot was good, and now stepping up for Clarksville, it's going to be number 10, Sa Tu. Ambrosio back in the goal. His kick on line, sneaks it into that back left corner, and after 2 shots, it's 2-2. The proverbial chess match continues here. Back to Dardanelle. It's going to be number 20, Kevin Abarca. Third PK. Perfect. Off to the left corner. And it's now 3-2 Dardanelle after 3 shots, but chance to tie things up here with another PK upcoming. And it is going to be De La Rosa kicking it. Goalie versus goalie. Here's the shot for Clarksville. It's in. Just clips the top corner. Can't execute it much better than that. 3 shots have been recorded for both teams. All 3 shots have gone in. Another shot here. Wasting no time, and it's wide left. Dardanelle misses a PK for the first time here in this shootout. Clarksville, it's your move. A chance to take the advantage. Set to take the PK. It'll be Ramirez. Brian Ramirez, the sophomore, to put his team on top going into the last shot. Deflected. Ambrosio with the save of his life to keep this even at 3 going into the 5th and final shot. Ladies and gentlemen, if we're tied after this, we're going to sudden death. And really, it doesn't matter anyways right now. It all comes down to this. You're down to your last shot in every sense of the word. Dardanelle delivers. That's Jose Chimialcocer coming through for his team. Excuse me, that was actually Manuel Martinez, the freshman, stepping up. Great shot there, and now waiting on with bated breath. It comes down to the final shot. And who else but Nathaniel Harris to keep the match alive and to keep those dreams alive for a first ever state title. Here it is. Shot is deflected. Ambrosio had the right idea, but it's off the top of his fingers, and that means that it is time for sudden death. Both teams go 4 for 5 in their PKs. And now it quite literally comes down to every single last shot. Sent out for Dardanelle, it is going to be number 5, Edgar De La Cruz. And sent out for the Panthers, Miguel Aguilar. De La Cruz versus De La Rosa, senior versus senior. State championship on the line. PK is in. And now the pressure is back on Clarksville. The anticipation has all built up to this moment, and the fate of this game rests on the shoulders of senior forward Miguel Aguilar. Irvin Ambrosio, your goalkeeper. Let's go Irvin chants emerging from the Dardanelle crowd for the state title. It's in. Cool as ice, the senior Aguilar steps up and delivers. Now we must have a couple more representatives step out. Dardanelle due up first. De La Rosa back out there for his team. PK is online in the back left corner. And again, attention turns back to Clarksville. It's up to So-2 to keep the match alive. Sudden death. State championship resting on his shoulders. Ambrosio reaches out but can't save it. And we go to yet another PK. Miguel Diaz quickly selected as the representative for the Sand Lizards. And chosen for the Panthers, it's going to be number 30, Jesus Santiago. De La Rosa returns to the goal. Here we go. De La Cruz can't save it. De La Rosa, excuse me. And once again, the pressure is back. Excellent shot there by Miguel Diaz. The senior stepping up for his team. You could see Jesus Santiago say a little prayer there before going up for his PK. Clarksville back against the wall. Needing this PK to keep their dreams alive of that first ever state championship. Here's the shot. It's in. Finds the top left corner. Now on to another. Angel Alcocer will be the representative for Dardanelle, and the representative for Clarksville will be equalizes. Shot is in. Yet again, the Sand Lizards make a much-needed play. Alcocer sinks yet another PK. Clarksville, it's your turn again. equalizes. A lot of weight resting on his shoulders right now, but his teammates have been able to stand up. We'll see if he can do the same. For the state championship. Some hesitation. Shot is in. Can you believe what you are seeing right now? If I'm not mistaken, this is the 10th PK apiece for each of these teams coming up. Darnelle sends out Alex Campos, the starter today. And due up for the Panthers. Still waiting for a decision. They're just going to go ahead and hold him off of the pitch for the moment. De La Rosa in the goal. Campos fires and it's deflected away. De La Rosa has set up the Panthers for the shot at a state championship. And the decision has been made. Lir Payutu. Excuse me. Nice, sir. Actually going to get the nod here. Clarksville, for the first time here in PKs, a chance to clinch it. A fan base that has waited so long for a state championship now has it moments within reach. Shot is high. Bounces off the crossbar, and folks, we are not done yet. A heartbreaker there for Sir. And also for De La Rosa, who made a great save in his previous PK. We'll see if he can do it again here. Set to take on number 10, Michael Leon. Here we go again. Another shot. This one is also saved. Blocked. A straight-on PK. De La Rosa, the senior, has once again set up his team for victory. And now it is up to the leg of Israel De La Rosa. Can one De La Rosa set up another for victory? We're about to see for the state title. It is in! Do you believe in miracles, Clarksville? For the first time in program history, the Panthers are on top of the state of Arkansas in 4A boys soccer. And it doesn't get any sweeter than this. Israel De La Rosa sinks the game winner set up by Juan De La Rosa in his last match with the Panthers. Back-to-back saves against an offensive powerhouse in the form of Darnelle. The Sand Lizards took the Panthers to their absolute limit. But at long, long last, the wait is over for Clarksville. And the emotion is palpable right now on both sides. After years of waiting, Clarksville experiences the sweet taste of victory. And for Dardanelle, a most bitter form of defeat. Also poetic in the sense that now the season series is all even up. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie, 1-1 your final score. It comes down to PKs. The save by number 1, Juan De La Rosa, finished off by Israel De La Rosa on the following PK. And now Clarksville can call themselves the number 1 team in 4A. Well, we're going to stay here for the awards presentation after this instant classic. The Dardanelle Sand Lizards receiving their second place trophy, already seeing the disappointment though on their faces. They should not hang their heads at all. They put up the fight of a lifetime to try and bring home the crown, and this is a team that will certainly be back contending for a title next year. As the public address announcer just said moments ago, when it takes that many PKs to determine a winner, you don't want to see anybody lose. But unfortunately, we had to have a loser in this matchup, and we had to have a winner. Dardanelle, you will be back, and your championship is on its way. But as for right now, the wait is over for the Clarksville Panthers. The crowd has been loud since the very first whistle. And now they get to have the loudest eruption they've had all day. The largest pop that we have seen from this energetic crowd as they finally get to hoist that coveted 4A state championship trophy. Now we await the announcement of the MVP. Players were quickly rushing off with the trophy, but we got to have an MVP presentation.
That goalie needs to win MVP.
Now they're going to go ahead and have a photo taken, or perhaps a video here from Jack Allen of KATV. And it doesn't get any more fitting than this. Your leader, your goalkeeper, who made the final 2 saves to put the Panthers on top and to set up Israel De La Rosa to become a hero. He himself is a hero that will never be forgotten in the history of Clarksville soccer. He will forever be known as the MVP that led the Panthers to their first ever state title. His name is Juan De La Rosa. And he has written a storybook ending to his Panther career. Not only that, but he has written a storybook ending to our first day of the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals here in Conway, Arkansas on the NFHS network. But do not miss out tomorrow. We've got some more great soccer action coming up. It's going to be tough to follow this act. But I'll tell you what, these teams are going to do their best. 10 a.m., Catholic versus Conway for the 6A boys title. Noon, Harding Academy and Shiloh Christian for the 4A girls title. 2 o'clock, CAC and Green Forest for the 3A boys title. And at 4 p.m., our closer for the entire weekend, Episcopal taking on CAC for the 3A girls championship. Be sure to join me as well as Carlos Chicas for another exciting day of the beautiful game of soccer right here on NFHS Network. Until then, on behalf of Carlos and our entire crew here, thank you for listening today. Once again, Carlito Chicas, felicidades, as he graduates tonight in Fayetteville. And until we see you tomorrow, this is Chase Hartzell signing off. Having a great evening, and thank you for watching the beautiful game.